Seeking Ikigai, the joy that life brings.
Have you ever felt like you haven't yet found what it is you're really here for? If someone asked me what my reason for being is, would I have an intuitive answer beyond mother and wife? I am thinking about this in the context of my career, as I'm now in the second half of it and wondering which direction I should be working towards next. What I've always thought of as an Ikigai Venn diagram, I was surprised to read was described by its creator as a meme. It's something I frequently draw in my bullet journals over the years, but weirdly haven't yet stumbled upon a process to come to any tangible conclusions. So that's been a niggle in my train of thoughts, that I hadn't really given enough credit to being there as often as it is. Marrying that with the fact I've been reading about and watching so many people talk about finding your authentic voice of authority and unique niche recently, it's coalesced in my mind into a vision that feels right for me to work through online. I've had a feeling of excitement and energy ever since I thought of it, and I've been dying to get some quiet time at the weekend to sit down and start to talk about that. I've tried really hard to not be too perfectionist about this, and that actually the process of developing and marketing a product, an idea, is what could be interesting for others to see. So I haven't spent very long knocking up a website, a couple of social channels. I'm resisting the urge to have everything worked out before starting, which is a little scary, but I love the idea of developing this idea in public, finding my voice and my people by diving in and getting started. I know that I'm not going to be able to clearly articulate this straight away. So many ideas are whizzing through my brain at the moment that clarity will only come with time. Writing, talking, and being consistent with that and starting to categorise. So I intentionally picked the word seeking Ikigai, as I am looking for this sense of purpose for myself in terms of what I do next, but also using it as an opportunity to see if this is something I can build that may help others get there more quickly than me. Is it building up a list of reviews of existing methods? Is it a new method I'm going to develop? Is it a careers tool I can build for young people to use before they have to make any choices that may limit them in the future? Is it an app or something that AI can help with? Is it something tangible that bullet journal fans will want to buy to stick into their books and work through at various points in their planning year? Is it a set of training courses? Is it digital assets? Is it video how-tos? Is it a community of like-minded people who can lift each other up? Is it consultancy? Is it speaking at events? It could be some or all of these things, or it could morph into something else I haven't foreseen, and I'm really excited to find out. So there are 4 types of written content I'm currently thinking about in particular. I guess I need to write about method, the research and the reviews. I'm a fast reader and I'm constantly curious, so I can work through existing books and online resources that cover Ikigai and related topics, and I can write up and talk about my thoughts and which bits work best for me. Essays on developing a method, so I can look through the instinctive categories that I come up when I look at the 4 buckets in the original diagram, the what I love, the what the world needs boxes, and write about those topics in more detail. And as I do, I can experiment with different ways. I can then also apply some kind of scoring matrix to consider them against what I'm good at and what I can be paid for. I'm going to consider exercises that help you really get out all your most loved areas, and then consider ways to help those be ranked and sort into things that are perhaps more suited to hobbies or voluntary work, and those that could be prioritised into top 3 for career thinking, for example. On that topic, careers and the future world of work is definitely a section that most directly overlaps with my current day job. The team that I'm in has a stated aim to support the tech sector and to develop strategy to support sustainable economic growth. I love the role and the team I'm in, but I'm also ambitious and I'm passionate about making the biggest difference as big as I can. So I need to consider where my skills can best be harnessed for maximum value to those around me, as well as me continually growing towards being the best person I can be. I've been blessed to be involved in digital skills and digital inclusion work streams, and it's those in particular that make me reflect on how we can best equip the next generations to fulfil their potential. There's always the topic of blogging or vlogging about what I'm actually doing, under the hood as I call it, documenting what I learn, the tools that work well for me, the hints and tips, the metrics as it grows. I can A/B test what works and what doesn't work for my initial audience. I guess that's people like me. That means geeky, optimistic people who need to become more confident, to reach for the stars, to share your voice, to not change to fit in, and to help each other grow by sharing and championing each other. Explore a world where people pay for things that they value. For those who prefer to watch or listen rather than read anything longer than a tweet, and I still don't know what else it's called, now it's X. As you can see here, I'm going to really push myself out of my comfort zone and record videos. I'm not as familiar with this, so it has taken me a lot longer to get up and running, and I'm not there confidently yet. But in terms of accountability and cadence, I am going to publish at least one article and probably one video a week. At the weekend, probably, as I do my best brainstorming then, and that's when I get time to start thinking and writing up properly. There's always an initial flurry when you first think about an idea. Obviously, you need to build up your website, you need to write your About Me page, and really keen to talk about things like mission and values. Also, it's always good to have a list of thank yous or inspirations or sources, and perhaps I can expand those separately out into essays too. But talking of which, there are 3 inspirations in particular it would be remiss of me not to mention on this, my inaugural video, because they were a big part of why I am now putting my fingers to keyboard and committing to this journey. The Not Boring site by Packy McCormick, and in particular the Weekly Dose of Optimism newsletter. I've learned so much, but it is especially heartening for me as a techie person to see somebody else writing about optimism. It always used to be much more fashionable to be cynical and amusing. The concept of 1,000 True Fans by Kevin Kelly is a fascinating one. It stopped me being paralysed by thinking that you have to reach millions of people online to sell something or make a living as a creative person. I've definitely convinced 1,000 people in my past roles to buy something that I was selling. It's such a more manageable number to have in your mind as the target. And finally, last but not least, there's somebody in particular on LinkedIn who inspires me on a weekly basis. Someone who's developed their niche and their voice and a brand that is both personal and a thriving business. Leah Turner is definitely worth a follow, especially if you're a woman in the UK. She's a breath of fresh air and another person that's inspired me and made me open up my eyes to possibilities. Building a community is something people value. I've built online communities in the past. Maybe that's something I could do again. So yes, that's me, Sarah seeking Ikigai, and I look forward to sharing my journey with you, and I hope you'll join me by following on socials and signing up to receive updates by email. Thank you so much for watching.